Welcome, Mike. It's a big content. Been a minute. We've been traveling a little bit, but we're here.
Whoa, you've been traveling.
I need you to take
no,
some of
I
the
made it. I made it work.
I need you to take some of the burden off my
I
chest.
could have been here.
Yeah, but you didn't even try to get an episode.
I wanted to let you vacation. You needed to recharge.
I didn't.
Get your mind off things.
No, I didn't.
Cut all the momentum you had.
Cut all the fat.
No,
Cut all the weak people out of my company.
See if you could keep it going. But I checked the YouTube numbers.
Yeah, we're cooking right now.
We're
cooking right now a little bit. Today's a stacked ep. I feel like we actually have a lot to talk about.
Yeah?
I'm excited, yeah, because I wrote down a few things prior to you sending that. Most of them were overlapping, though.
This guy's a micromanager.
I need to. We have entry-level positioners over here. I need to get micromanaged. What do you want to talk about?
Well,
where
do you want to start?
With what?
Why wouldn't you respond back with some of the stuff you had? That way I could position it.
Most of them were
Give me that.
Most of them were overlapped.
Let me see it. I'm sure it was, but I could still... Let me see.
It was intern search, snapback community, the stadium tour, launching trivia YouTube, and our YouTube views being higher right now despite putting out less content. So that was kind of like what I had. And
You're
I
right.
think maybe some other
There's
things.
a lot of... All right. I wanted to start with the TikTok Creativity Fund, different than the TikTok Creator Fund, because this will be helpful for creators.
This is a discussion we've actually had in the office like 3 or 4 times over the last week.
Okay.
This specifically.
Good to know. Well, now we can discuss. So TikTok has had their well-reported on TikTok Creator Fund, which was $1 billion or whatever they headlined. And, Charlie D'Amelio made 20 grand and Dixie made 15 grand and Addison Rae made 10 grand. And you, the creator who had 100 million views, made like $4,000. And that's if you went berserk. It's not sustainable. No full-time creator could rely on a creator fund. Then Snapchat comes out with their monetized ads in their stories, and David Dobrik's making millions of dollars. This is a little more possible for now because advertisers are spending. So
Snapback creators got to rip, and TikTok was like, we need to do something to keep the creators here.
And so they came in and said, all right, we can't monetize your 14-second dances, but what we can do is we saw YouTube Shorts. They can't do it either. But if you post longer form content, we can monetize it. So they released their TikTok Creativity Fund. And based off of some of the numbers that I know of because of our agency clients, they're making good money. So every 1,000 views, on average, I would say CPM, RPM, whatever it is about $1. It could be $1.50 on a higher niche. It could be a little lower on a crappier niche. But if you're creating original content, you have 10,000 followers, you've posted a few times in the last 28 days, you are able to apply, and I think getting in hasn't been hard. All videos have to be 1 minute and 1 second or more, so most people are just going with the 1 minute and 1 second videos. I'm not sure if they reward like YouTube, where if you posted a 20-minute video, you would have 4 ad slots. I think this is just equal all across. So not to say there's a benefit to posting longer than 1 minute and 1 second, but we've got 2 creators. You can back into the math, but on their accounts over the last 28 days, two big accounts, and they've made $17,000 on through the Creativity Fund. So big, real numbers.
What the fuck they need you for now?
That's a good question.
Yeah. So Sexy came across a video basically, which this is kind of like meta now. He came across a video of someone talking about how much money he made in the Creativity Fund, whatever it's called, and that opened his eyes to it. He brought it to my attention. And it's really relevant to us because we have not tried to really monetize TikTok yet. Yeah. And our trivias are doing really well. They get, the worst trivias will get 100 grand, right? Or 100,000 views on it, which again, if you back into the math, that's like $100 at a $1 CPM. Yeah. That would net us, $500. We put them out 7 days a week. So that would, $500 to $700 a week.
At min.
Right, at min, and we have interns coming in, so we're trying to scale up trivia and do like 2 a day, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Case in point is like we can make a lot of money at it. We have not switched yet because, unless I'm wrong about this, if you're part of this, it takes the link out of the bio.
Interesting.
So this was the only counterpoint I had to it. We just started. Check the clients or whatever that you work with, see if they have a link in their bio still. So this was the only real downside that we found. And normally I'd be okay with it given the amount of money we could probably make off of it, probably somewhere from 70 to 100 grand in a year off of this if this stays the rate. Problem is, like, we just launched the trivia YouTube channel, and I actually think not having that link would be really fucking detrimental to building the foundation of that channel right now while we're moving people from TikTok into YouTube. If the link's not there, I hesitate to believe that people are going to be like, oh, they have a YouTube channel. Let me like open up a different app. Let me search it and make sure that I could find it. Like I'm probably not going to find it in the first search.
Yeah,
it's
crossover.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was my biggest concern. And I'm like, we just started it. Had we already had like 10,000 subs, 50,000 subs or whatever, I'd be less hesitant to move over to that creator fund. But it puts my feet to the fire of like brand versus money here. This is like a real life decision I have to make right now of whether I think building that YouTube channel as its own brand right now, monetization aside, is more valuable than maybe making 50, 70, 100K this year based off of that.
So checking their accounts, one of them didn't have the link. The other one does.
He has a link in his bio.
A link in the bio. And you can still use, both of them still have like their Instagram and YouTube little icons.
Okay.
So that's available. I'll text them after and get more info.
Okay.
Because if not, you got to turn that shit on. I haven't been able to join because when I apply and then it wants me to enter my payment details, it like sends me to some funky PayPal like stuff.
Yeah.
And it like the page doesn't work. And I've been trying to do it.
Maybe so many people are fucking, maybe they have like a landing page for this specific connection and like so many people are trying to do it right now.
It's
yeah, I had
weird.
Sexy do some like deep dive research and that was like the only downside we could find. And we weren't even sure because like some people felt like it had it, some people didn't.
Yeah, I think what's different about this one is it's not like they're putting ads into your content. So it shouldn't kill any of the content either, which I think is encouraging.
Some people say that like your views drop off pretty significantly the first couple weeks and then like as long as you're consistent, they go back up. I'm trying to imagine how much money we would have made during fucking Ike's lunch during all of this.
That would have been fun.
That would have been crazy.
Make what, like $1,000 a video?
Maybe, yeah. They were between like 700 and $1 million pretty much.
Yeah.
What a time.
What a time to be alive. So if you are creating on TikTok, I would look more into how you could optimize to be eligible for that program because it's not going to change you really changing up much of your content. You're just going to have to get it over to a minute plus, and you can bring in some funds, which you could then reinvest back into your
It's cool that they're giving back to the creators now, especially at this scale. I do wonder, has Snapchat like are creators making any less money than they were 2 months ago? Because they were making a lot of money.
Yeah, I'll be at VidCon tomorrow, so I'm sure they're going to talk a ton about that. I doubt they'll give like super updated numbers. My numbers are pretty much the same across the board. So
yeah, just like general sense, because I'm sure there will be a day where it's like, oh, you know, they're not paying.
The thing I have noticed is people have flooded onto the app.
Yeah,
like it went from like anything, you know, there was no Snap creators. Like I was one of the only Snap creator. And then it was like, all right, Dobrik and the big ones and, you know, the Pauls and whatever. But now like Portnoy is now posting on Snap. Like there's accounts that have come out of the woodwork and are clearly trying
Makes sense. That's like every social platform though, especially one that's now, you know, incentivizing you via monetization, which is super rare.
Yep.
And speaking of monetization, congrats on the fucking community launch.
Thank you.
You finally got your own product per se out there.
Yes.
Let's talk about like you went on this baseball tour where you went to 5 different stadiums, 5 different baseball games, and you sold 50 tickets per game to people in the snapback audience. Did you end up selling out all the games?
Yeah.
Amazing. Like 250 people there over the course of 5 games. So you had that connection with them, and I'm sure there was a lot of momentum of that energy right into the community aspect of what you're doing. Now, when you launched the community program, let's say from the start, like, did you know you were doing this prior to the baseball store or the baseball tour?
Yeah. So
what exactly is it?
So when we rented your office back in January at our offsite for
still waiting for that invoice
for
payment.
$0, that was part of the plan, was to launch Superfam, as we're calling it, $10 a month, which includes Snapback Sports Hat, a pin, athlete AMAs, betting advice and data. You'll be part of our gaming channel because we're going to have a Madden League, which you'll only be able to get into through that. You'll have access to all our employees. We're doing a $10,000 creator fund. We're doing $1,000 in giveaways. And when I tweeted out yesterday, because I had posted on other platforms on Twitter, I framed it as, what if the NFT you bought and everything they promised was actually real, right? And this isn't a shot at NFTs because I'm still a big believer in that. It's a shot at everyone extracted. And we did it at nights too. Like that is one of our biggest mistakes from Nights of DGM was like we minted, we raised a lot of money, and that was the idea, but then we extracted and we didn't reinvest all that money, which I think was silly. So our goal is to get about $100,000 in the year and then dump all that money back in. So that could be paying players to jump in the Discord. It's obviously for the hats and the pins. Like the hats, pins, shipping is free. It takes up 2 months of the membership. Like it'll cost us $17, and after
It's not even that bad.
Processing fees, no, we've made it
10
tight.
months of profit's a lot.
Huh?
10 months of profit.
What do you mean?
Like I'm saying, if you're saying to have someone purchase a membership based on what you're giving them, it takes 2 months out. So I'm saying you're getting like 10 months of profit.
No, that's just to cover the hats and the pins.
Oh, like you have the other stuff.
Yeah. Like we're not. The goal is to not be profitable on it in year one. It's to literally any profit.
Love it.
The only profit we make is to dump back in and give back. So
that's exactly what we did with the Besh.
Yeah.
We make like $2,000 off of a $110,000 mint.
Exactly. So that was the goal, was to launch Superfam at some point, create a sports community with all those things in it. And we were just waiting on the hats. We went through 4 or 5 iterations, 3 different manufacturers, 3 different factories, samples back and forth. So it just took like 5 months. We rush shipped the first set of hats to get there for that tour. So it all kind of just happened as the hats arrived.
Okay. So you guys launched it. Did you have that date set up like for a long time?
No.
You're waiting for the hats and then
waiting for the hats, and then we got the hats. We went on the tour the next day, and then when we got back, I didn't want to launch on like a Wednesday. We just picked a Monday.
So you feel like the launch went well?
Launch went amazing. I mean, we've done like 280 to 300 memberships in 48 hours. Obviously, majority of memberships will come at the beginning of it, but I think as we prove out the value, get an athlete in there, have a winning betting pick, start to, introduce the Madden League, like people will start to see the value. Most people, I would say, are just joining because they want to be part of it early on. Now it's time to like deliver, and then we'll get the remainder of people. But we've only pushed it, for a day or so. Yeah. And I think about like, if we were to drive 300 depositors on Underdog or 300 ticket sales on anything in a day, like when you frame it like that, it's almost like, holy shit, like that's really, really impressive.
Yeah, that's even more impressive because most of those people are going to be locked in for, minimum like 6 months. Yeah. Whether or not it's like they just forget to cancel if they don't want it anymore, but like that's just the way memberships work for the most part.
Well, that's what we've also said is if you want to cancel after the first month, it's the cheapest and only way to get our new hats.
That's super fair, yeah. So you're like making money if you cancel in the first month.
You can't even buy the hats, but if you were to pay $10, I will still ship you the hat and the pin. It'll cost us $17. It'll cost you $10, and then you can cancel. Like, I don't care. I believe that we're gonna beat people with value, and they'll stick around.
Now you maxed it at 1,000. Did I see that?
Yeah, 1,000 person.
Is that just max. Like for a marketing purpose?
No, that's because I think
scarcity.
We won our inaugural class to be the first 1,000 fans, and our goal was to locate our 1,000 super fans. I also think at scale, the concept of it all gets a little fickle. If you said, all right, 10,000 people, it's hard to manage that. Like, I think over the year, I'll have a relationship and connection, or at least know who everyone is within the community.
That's fair.
And obviously, to get to a place, it's a business, so we would want to scale it. And how do we scale it will come into question, year 2. Do we introduce a second class, a third class? Do we feel like we can manage? Or do we provide so much fucking value in year 1 to these people that we're like, it's $100 a month. And for $1,200 a year or $1,000 a year, you want to make an annual payment, you're getting so much value that it's worth it.
Yeah. Well, the good part about you keep it small and you keep it how are people signing up? Like, what's the actual platform? How are you tracking everything?
So wap.com/snapback sports. It's like a Patreon, it's a very simplified back end. It's honestly a really, really strong tool.
Yeah. So I was going to say, like, the beautiful part about having something really simplified for tracking is now you can see which members have been there for the longest time, so you can like reward. You might have a special reward, like, hey, if you've been a member for 12 months, we're now sending you out
we
like
have
this
a super fan pin
exclusive,
for the year.
Exclusive piece of merch. And then also, once you have a very core foundation of like all the value they're getting, now you can easily upsell. You know what I'm saying? Like now you could say like, hey guys, like you're still in grandfathered in the 1099, but Jack's now going to do a bi-weekly like private Q&A if you want to go to $15.99 a month or something like that. You know, and all that does is make you get on video for, you know, 1 extra hour a month, but over 1,000 fans, extra $5 a month, $5,000, like probably worth your fucking, you know what I mean? It's very easy to like climb the ladder very slowly with these things.
So that's the biggest thing that I'm trying to be extremely conscious
Go
of.
really slow with this stuff.
Is upselling the people that have already committed, because I don't want, like, for example, I don't want to have them be paying $10 a month and then we work with a ticketing company and it's like, hey guys, here's, you know, use our code too. Like they should be getting something extra than the general audience.
They signed up. You already outlined the value that you're giving to them. So when they sign up, they have the right expectations. As long as you deliver upon those expectations. You also got to remember, these are the dudes that open their wallet for you. So they are the most likely people to buy the upsell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
they are.
Going from 0 to 1 is the hard part. Going from 1 to 2 is much easier with those people. They've already done most of the groundwork
We got to figure out what that value is.
Yeah, I mean that. I really think it could be simple, like the access part, like adding a little bit more per month, or being like, hey guys, we're now organizing these Madden leagues or MLB leagues for you guys. You know, if you want to be part of that tier, extra $2.99 a month, we'll get your league set up for you. Like kids will pay $2.99 an extra month, but at scale, that's a lot of fucking money for your company. You know what I mean? Like those are the, like really, really incremental things. Like as you slowly raise up or offer multiple tiers with it, I think are very cool too.
Yeah,
that's exciting though, because now you can like really, really focus on that as like your thing that you're going after and scaling.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, my favorite part of the whole thing, well, the MLB tour was fantastic. I want to talk about that more at length. But when my first ever business I really started was a phone case company. So we got designs made in China, and then we would buy phone cases, and it'd be like LeBron dunking, you know, with the Apple logo in his hand, stuff like that. And we used to ship those, me and my co-founder, by hand. Like I would sit in my dorm room, put it in an envelope, physically write the address, which now that I finally got a printer, I was like, holy shit. But it's just like, I feel so back to my roots. Like I was literally taping and packing boxes.
So how good does that feel?
It's the best.
It's so good.
Like it's
like
so
a common,
stupid.
it's like a thing that you're doing like together that you're like, this is actually like super, like we made this from nothing. You know?
Casey and I carrying 30 boxes to USPS
Epic.
because I didn't schedule a pickup for the right day, and like them falling on the streets of New York. Like
that's what it's all about. That's really what it's all about.
Yeah, that's like so much better. And my time is worth so much more than packing boxes. Like it really would make sense to have someone else doing it, but I just fucking love it. Like I do for now. So it's been fun. It's been fun.
All right. Well, where can they check it out again?
WHOP, WHOP, which is a hilarious name if you know the song. /Snapback Sports.
All right. We'll put that down below. First ever plug I think we've used in big content. Superfam
is the sponsor of big content once again for $0. All right, but let's talk. I do want to just continue with the MLB tour, what I learned. So we sold 50 tickets per city, $25 per ticket. Once again, we took a loss on this. So you got a hat, a pin, a game ticket, the surprise, which YouTube video is coming in July, but we're taking someone to the World Series, and we gamified the entire experience. So in each city, there were a set of challenges, with the final 2 doing a hot dog eating contest. Then that was the winner of that city. They got the custom snapback jersey, snapback.
What was like the most hot dogs eaten by a single person?
Oh, it's just a race. It's just a race between the 2 people.
To eat one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you'll see the Cleveland one was hilarious, like Bungate. Like there was a
Bungate?
discarded bun. Like there's drama. Yeah.
Bungate.
It was epic. So then we have 5 winners in each city. They get the jersey, and then everyone ran a lap throughout their stadium, and the fastest time won the World Series ticket.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're gonna have that.
Someone has like, I don't know the stadium as well, but someone must have had a severe disadvantage.
That's the thing, is there were disadvantages, but there were also
like I can't imagine sprinting through the hallways of a baseball stadium. I would hate
That's
that.
why it was hilarious. The whole thing is hilarious. Like we brought everyone into the section for the hot dog eating contest, and it's like the middle of the 7th inning, and people are just like in our section going crazy for these people eating hot dogs.
That's fire. That's cool.
So we're excited about that. But learnings were, 20% of the people had never been to an MLB game, and they just came to hang with us. On average, people traveled 2 to 3 hours to come. Like for one game. Someone drove 7 hours. Some people stayed in hotels overnight because it was the closest city. That was fucking very, very powerful to me because I had shared concerns about like our Super Bowl event, not being able to sell tickets. You know, do we have this true community that I know we have, but I just couldn't quite figure out. So that was like just reassuring that, yeah, it's here. Combine that with Super Fam. And yeah.
Do you have a rough number in your mind of how many people from the baseball games are now Super Fam?
I don't, but I want to say I've seen people in the chat being like, hey, I was at Kansas City or I was in Detroit. I would say that the number that we probably took away the most from was a lot of people reference watching the gaming channel and our MLB The Show series, which goes to show if they're willing to come out and buy a ticket, they're also probably watching your 30-minute long form video once a week and they're engaged in that. So I felt like that was pretty powerful.
Yeah, it's cool. What else we got going on right now?
That's it for me. The next thing on my list was you launched the trivia YouTube, which I said I wanted equity in, I wanted to invest, but it seems like you're in Series B now. It looks like it's going amazing. But wanted to talk about the kind of transfer of TikTok followers, major success there. I think this is an obvious one where they can't get the full scope of the content. I guess they can. They could watch the 3-minute segment of it. But if they want the full trivia, it's on the YouTube channel. So it's an easy sell. So what are your takeaways? How are you pushing people? What's been successful?
Up to this point, I would look at it as like a smashing success.
Yeah.
We're like over 2,000 subs already. We've
and
only
like
put
4K a video.
Yeah, and only like 4 or 5 videos so far.
I will continue to say, like, I was betting on this. It's a lock. Like,
yeah, very, very easy to see. I will say, like, when you were on Twitter, like, why don't you make an announcement video? Like, the way that we're promoting is just so...
No. I was saying you announced the channel, but there was no content live. Like, the video didn't go up. Yeah. And I was like... I
meant, like, why didn't I make a video announcing it? I was like, because we're just going to plug it in every TikTok.
No, I was saying... Because, when people go to... Everyone who knew about trivia knows what to expect, so they hit subscribe. But if they didn't, they're like, oh, I'm going to go check it out, and then there's no content there. The content went up a few hours later, I think.
Okay.
Same
Makes
day.
sense. I think
but that's what I was saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
No, you don't need to make an announcement video.
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean? Like, it's going to drive 4 people to the channel? Yeah, so I think it's going really, really well. We've just been keeping it extremely simple in the beginning of TikToks. We changed our process a little bit where when we were making them for TikTok, we would kind of just be in the office and be like, yo, I made some trivs. Like, you want to run them? Sometimes we do one. Sometimes if we just need one for that day, sometimes we do 5 at a time. Now we have a structure where each of us will be a host for a YouTube video. And you need to bring 3 trivias to the table. You're the host for those 3, and we just record the entire 3 trivias in a row. So we'll do like a Connect 4, take a break for fucking, 30 seconds, start the next trivia right up, film that whole thing. And basically it's easier for us to edit that way because most of the editing process comes in like taking out the gaps between the videos or whatever and like making sure you have the pace up. So once we do that, you're basically editing YouTube and TikTok kind of at once.
Yeah.
So that's easy for us. And the only difference is that the YouTube videos are longer, so it has the 3 at a time, whereas TikTok's just 1 a day at this moment. So we'll go in the beginning of TikTok. We'll be like, welcome back to Office Trivia. Like, here's a grid for you guys. Also, we have the YouTube channel up if you want to watch like the longer form videos. Now,
so let's say you're hosting one and it's Tony and Sexy. When you post the first segment on TikTok, is the full all 3 on YouTube or is it after?
I want to say we put it up so like the YouTube video goes live the day the first trivia goes live. So technically we'll have comments now that are like, already saw this on YouTube or whatever, which is now another kind of like factor that we need to figure out. Okay, what is the value? A lot of people like the YouTube channel better than TikTok videos already, but now do we start making content exclusive do we put like an extra trivia per week that's not on TikTok or something like that? Or does it matter? I'm not sure.
What are your thoughts? Yeah.
I think so we're in the middle of the intern search pretty much right now. We had 4 interviews over the last 2 days where people were in the office and we ran trivia with them and everything. We had them create their own trivia and host it.
Is that who was on one of the trivias yesterday that I saw? I saw someone.
You probably saw Alex Caruso. He's not an intern. He's just
that was Alex. Okay.
Yeah, brunette kid, tall, like white kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I didn't see. They filmed while I was on vacation. He came into the office. Not an intern, no. So with having an extra one, maybe two interns here, what I'm thinking is like we start to look at, this is the mistake we made with like Guessing Next Lunch is not actually focusing on that as like a business in itself. You know what I mean? Like almost making that an LLC. And now I'm like, trivia, let's, we can really take that and bring it into something else and like scale that if we want to. So I'm thinking, all right, now that we have manpower to do more, it's like, do we up our trivia to 2 a day? Do we start getting more creative where it's like, let's up it to having more exclusive on YouTube? We have, we have more hands on deck. So we're like thinking about different ways. I definitely think there needs to be some sort of differentiator in the content between YouTube and TikTok, whether it's really slight and it's just like, here's an extra video a week that you guys get, or maybe the edits are a little bit different for YouTube because I think they're pretty similar right now other than like the cutbacks and stuff. But all in all, I'm like really happy with how it's going so far. I think we have like a good schedule. Every 3 days, YouTube video, TikToks every single day. It's scaling really, really quickly. So yeah, all in all, it's going great.
Yeah. And I think what it accomplishes is it highlights your personalities. It builds character without making you guys the center of it all.
Yeah.
Like you can bring in different people and that all just plays into it, which is similar to Ike's Lunch.
It's important because like I want to make sure that we have that continuity with if we start to build this up and scale it as its own business. It's like now I'm learning from my previous business and the fact that like I don't need to be the face of it and I could not be here for a week and that shit, the content will get out, all this stuff will get out. And then eventually if it scales, like we could start thinking about,
I think in our office we should have like a little
just like a trivia
official game set.
Yeah, hell yeah, that'd be cool.
So my unwarranted advice, I don't know if that's the right word, but the feedback you didn't ask for is I would go premium on YouTube. So I would think like Jeopardy, which took an entire 30-minute segment. Like that's how I would differentiate it because you never want to cut the quantity on TikTok, but like how do you differentiate why Jeopardy felt like, or these 30-minute single games feels like the way to do it.
Like it's once a week we do like one premium game that only goes up on YouTube. Yeah.
So it could be a Deal or No Deal, like something that's going to take a while.
Yeah,
and it's opposed to Grid.
So the way I'm thinking about it too, going back to like the TikTok Creativity Fund is like we're so at the beginning still that I don't want to make a decision that like cuts our head off right now. Where it's like trying to, I've preached about, if you're starting a new business or you're just being a creator, it's
I would not cut anything from TikTok. Right?
No, we would never cut. I just mean by cut of the head, I just meant like cut the momentum. Whereas like if you add like a paid feature or something to it, I feel like it
No. Premium in terms of like, I'm saying a 30-minute single game. Like,
I got it. Yeah,
it took us a full week to plan this one, whereas Grid might take a few hours.
Yeah. What I mean by that is like I almost want to just keep it as pure as I can for as long as we can right now. Build up the good grace and like instead of using all that time to make like a premium one, which we'll charge people for, it's almost like just use that to continue scaling free content. And then
I'm not saying charge though. Yeah. I'm saying. When
you say premium, I'm thinking like behind a paywall.
And what I'm thinking is when you just combine 3 mini games into a video, that's almost like here's how we're just packaging this together, as opposed to thinking let's do a 30-minute Jeopardy round, right?
Okay.
Which can still be cut up for TikTok, and one intern is just focused on getting out these mini games, but the other one, his entire week's worth is planning what might be Jeopardy, or these bigger single game takes a while.
Makes sense. When you kept saying premium, I kept thinking you mean like make a subscription for it or something like that, which I also think might be kind of cool too. Just like $2 a month or something, you get unlocked this video because YouTube does have like memberships.
They do have that, and it's actually a good pivot to the next topic, which is Mr. Beast's latest video. Did you see how he sold Feastables?
No.
So Mr. Beast just did a video going on like a dollar yacht and going on $100 million.
I don't know if I watched it through, but I saw like the premise of the video.
The fastest, second most views in 24 hours for for any YouTube video. Yeah, he's crazy. In this 8 or 10 minute video, whatever it was, three things to note. One, Pete Davidson was in the video. No mention of Pete Davidson in the thumbnail, like in the intro to it. Like that's how big it got. Also, Tom Brady in the video.
Really?
No mention, like not.
See, I didn't even know that. Yeah.
Yeah, not playing with the greatest quarterback of all time. Like that's how wild his content has gotten. That you don't use Brady or Davidson. It's just like a highlight within. And what did Brady and Davidson?
Just something. It's like a tactic to get the next 3 seconds on the watch. That's insane.
So what did they get out of it? It seemed like Davidson plugged his new show, I want to say on Peacock. It wasn't like an official ad, but it seems like that's what it was. And I think the Brady plug was just because his kids were on the boat, and I think that was like a do-good. Most importantly, though, who was the sponsor of the video? Feastables. In the video, they have some of his compadres go around on jet ski, throwing Feastables to other people on boats, having them review it, taste it, say how great it was. And then he said, for a never-before-seen video, go to Walmart, buy Feastable, scan a QR code, you can unlock. So
kind of cool.
The power of that is insane, to actually have like chocolate bars within Walmart where you can then unlock exclusive content. But same idea. He's getting people to buy his product, which then unlocks content. It's a strategy. It's tried and true. But yeah, I wouldn't sell or paywall your content. But are you still building the tool?
We are. It's like kind of built out right now, but we don't work with the developer that started building it out, and we're still in the middle of. I'm waiting for. I told you we were hiring like a tech person on our team. Waiting for our lawyers to draft up the actual like contract offer. I'm going to send it to them, and hopefully it's wrapped up by the end of this week, and then we can get started like next week on it. But that's it's like the convulsion of all these things where it's like interns will scale it. We have the YouTube channel going, so that's really good. We'll have the website going, hopefully with the games that could be played on it. So it feels like there's so much momentum on this business that like easy for me. You know, like I don't have to do much for it. Where it's like,
so you asked me like when this all came together for Superfam and MLB Tour, and Superfam launching was like almost the completion of our flywheel, and that's exactly what you're completing right now. It's like once you have that and that and that, then it's all connected and it works beautifully.
It's gonna be like a superpower, just like combining all at once.
So the other thing Mr. Beast did was he tweeted and deleted that he was shutting down Mr. Beast Burger. So rumor mill sources are that he's not happy with, I mean, he mentioned it in the tweet, quality control, which is kind of a shot at the, company that does the back end of it. I'm not gonna throw their name out there, but he deleted it. I'm assuming because I'm sure they're locked into a very extensive contract. What was interesting was that he didn't say I want out of like working with them. He was like, I just don't want to do it at all. I want to focus on Feastables, which I found very interesting. As someone with the Ghost Kitchen, the company we work with is very keen on quality control, so that's not a problem for us. But just curious what your general thoughts are.
I kind of feel bad for him, Mr. Beast, a little bit, like in a weird sense, in the fact that like he has so much volume and scale that like anything he does will get scrutinized to like such a large degree. Where I've kind of like come to grips with one of the things I'm really strongholded on when I think about it is like not judging myself if I want to pivot off something. Like if there's something I want to do and I'm like, man, even if I like talked about it publicly and I just don't really want to do it anymore, I try not to be too hard on myself for it. And I can't imagine like with him, the amount that he invests into it and just like the amount of eyeballs on everything that he does, that if it doesn't work out like perfectly, he's just getting a million people chirping about how it's like he's a failure and et cetera, shit like that.
And I'm sure legally he's locked into, like, it's probably tough to be flexible. Like, he is a startup at his core, but he is corporate to a degree. He's got hundreds of employees.
Yeah. I wonder what he takes away from that, and I would assume it's because like if another company is the one that's actually being hands-on with the quality control, that's the last time he goes through like a secondary middleman to actually go through the product. Like Feastables, I'm sure he's extremely hands-on and like taking every fucking bite of these chocolate bars before they go live and stuff like that. I'm sure he did that with Mr. Beast Burger too.
I'm sure he'll build the factory.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like from now on, if he were to relaunch Mr. Beast Burger, he'd probably like fucking do it, you know, in a factory that he built, you know,
or launch all physical locations,
exactly,
like, and have quality control across.
Yeah, so I wonder. I'd like to ask him what his fucking takeaways were. But
all right, next topic is VidCon. I honestly had never really heard of VidCon before.
I know what it is.
I'm speaking with Liz from Underdog. Very excited on Friday.
That's pretty cool.
Talk about our partnership. It seems like it is becoming more of a thing to the general public because the platforms.
VidCon?
Will release, like...
I've known about VidCon for years.
But it was for creators. Now is it more like Meta will announce their new things, or Snap will release their whatever. I don't know. That's kind of the feeling I'm assuming is going to happen.
Okay. I'm not sure of it. I've known about VidCon for a long time. There's a lot of people that I like that will go speak there, but there's also, I'm not really sure how those conferences work because I haven't gone to a lot of conferences, but there's a lot of people going. Like there might be anywhere from like you to Gary Vee, and it's like different levels of speakers. And I'm like, are there a ton of speakers that go?
I think it's one of those.
Is it like a concert where there's like 10 different stages? And
I think so.
Okay. Yeah. VidCon's cool though, but those things I feel like are really fun for networking purposes because it gets you like the only networking things I ever go to when it comes to like conferences are within this fantasy and sports media range. But like going to a content type of network is pretty fucking cool, you know, because you get to meet other people who are better at many things that you're not good at. But like you have your expertise, they have their expertise, and you guys are able to like connect and work together on different projects that like I think can get you so much further ahead than just working with people that are in the same industry. Yeah. What are you looking forward to with it?
I like natural connections and networking. I assume, I mean, I know that a lot of them are going to be, it is what it is. Like people are there to network and to do business, which is great. Some stuff great will come out of it. I think that 90% of the people are like, oh, let's catch up. Let's get a coffee. Let's do this. It's like
you have a lot of people there like that,
I just know everyone is like posting. I'm gonna be at VidCon. Make sure to hit me up. Let's grab time. You know,
that's so funny. I don't think I know a single person besides you guys. Yeah. Like, I don't think I've seen a single tweet about it. I don't know fucking anybody.
Yeah, I just hate that stuff. But I know it's very good for what we do. So obviously, I'm excited to meet people. I'm hoping to speak with creators and just get like inspired and. I don't know. Do you think there's still stuff to learn?
Bro, of course there's stuff to learn. What do you mean?
That's not already out there? Like, is there someone that's going to say something? You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm the best at content by any stretch, but I know what makes good content, right? Like, I do know. And if
you might learn something more from like a technically sound standpoint, but you'll learn something will come out of it. Yeah. Like it will be a new connection, or it will be something that you heard from a different angle or something like that makes you think about things differently. Yeah. A lot of the people at VidCon too are probably like creators that run businesses as well. So they can give you different, I don't know, product ideas or service ideas or different ways to think about things. Yeah. I mean, we're in our little bubble. Like we are good at what we're doing specifically, but there are people that are way better at what they're doing.
But I'm saying, do you think I'll talk to a creator and it'll help our content, help our business more than watching Mr. Beast being a YouTube genius on YouTube for 10 minutes?
Yes, because you will get advice that's actually specific to questions that you're asking or the topic that you're talking about with somebody.
Is it something you would ever go to?
VidCon's I would actually like low-key love to go to something like that. Go to every conference that's not a fantasy conference.
Why didn't you go?
I didn't to VidCon. Yeah. I didn't even know what was happening. Oh. Like I didn't know it was like I don't know how to go. I don't know where it is. I don't know when it is. I don't know anything about it other than like I know creators that go to it.
Yeah, it's this weekend in Anaheim.
Yeah,
40 minutes north of.
That's
LA.
Maybe also why I didn't go.
Yeah, I mean it is a long trip.
They should just do everything in New York. No. Yeah. Like my grandparents.
No, because all the creators are in LA.
That's fair. I'm surprised we haven't seen a swing of creators come to New York.
I'm not. It's very expensive. No one's here in the creator space.
Right, but like that, those are two different. Like, the expensive part makes sense, but like I'm surprised why people haven't started migrating here.
Because I think no one's here. Think about it. All right, and even Casey Neistat is here. Neistat. He goes to my Target all the time. I see him.
Really?
I see him like once a week. Yeah. All right. So what else do you think?
It's just a better place for making content. I feel like than LA.
Is it?
Yeah.
All this outside. I think it's because of the studios.
Just collabs. Yeah.
Right.
Maybe.
Like movies started out there.
Yeah.
I think that's
weather. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Although the weather in LA is pretty shit now. They've been in like a cold front, rainy.
Just like specifically right now though.
No, for like 3 or 4 months. Like people
love that.
Yeah.
Love
it. Fuck you, LA. And you're. Oh, sorry.
You're going to VidCon, brother. You're gonna have a target on your back. What's going on with your fucking Amazon negotiations? Are we wrapped or no?
We're still working. They got back to us. They're still working on budget, which is
always. We're gonna be budgeting for 6 months.
This one was encouraging though that they said that, and we know another big party that is also confirmed that was the response they got. So it's not just like we're kicking you down the line. Off the air, I have some big news about a partnership that we just closed that I'm not going to release to the big content.
Say that again?
We just signed an athlete to a partnership.
Why aren't you disclosing it?
Because we're going to do a whole announcement, press release. It's, it's a source. Maybe I'll let you source it.
Ooh, come on.
You need to build up credibility, though.
I already have it.
No.
Just wait on it.
If he signs with the Jets, maybe I'll.
If he signs with the Jets, you won't be
Alex,
able to afford me anymore.
Alex wants to go with the front office sports and the Sports Business Journal. I think we should go hit him, with the little guy.
Hit him low.
Yeah,
they won't know what's coming.
The little guy.
Okay, yeah. Let me. That'd be amazing business for you if Dalvin Cook signs with the Jets, and then you have me announce that. Like that's my next breaking announcement.
That's what I mean.
It'd be crazy.
So
I have so much cred.
Yeah.
My price would be so high.
I might have to scoop the Dalvin stuff, though, from his agent.
It's going to be the same fucking thing I broke a month ago.
How done is this salmon? It feels burnt at this point.
I like salmon crispy, dude.
I do too.
I like it crispy. You ain't charring that shit. It ain't touching.
Did you have anything else? The only other crazy thing is this Kick stuff. Like, everyone is migrating from Twitch to Kick for streaming.
I mean, we're not on Twitch. I'm not familiar with the streaming world. I know big creators are moving over, but
now even people who aren't getting paid are moving over there because more freedom to do stuff. 95-5 split between creator and platform, which will obviously have to shift or Kick's going to run out of money. But that's their play. I think that's where it becomes serious, right? There's Rumble, I think was the one that we talked about, where no one's on Rumble, or at least I don't know anyone who goes on Rumble, and no one would migrate over to Rumble because they don't have that same viewership, right? But with Kick now, I'm seeing creators who aren't getting the $100 million or $10 million to go and be over there. They just think it's a better platform, which is very interesting. When that starts to happen, that's when the platform actually has some legs and is serious.
Yeah, that's always interesting to me when a platform has such a big monopoly on it, but they don't really work on their product well. Twitch comes to mind for me with that. They've obviously been popular and they're a good platform that works on improving, but every time I go on there, it feels
the same.
It feels gross and lawless, and I just never. It's not good UI UX. I don't really understand what I'm doing on the platform. It's always been a huge problem for me. And same thing with Patreon. I never liked Patreon as a creator to use it as a membership platform. They never really improved it. And then I'm always it's a matter of time before someone else comes in and does it better and productizes it because people come to the platform and they think to themselves oh, I wish this. There's going to be someone that comes and says, I'm just going to make the thing that I wish was there. And that's the same thing with creators. The same thing with people like us, where it's you can do the same thing for a long time, but eventually people are going to want something more. And it's you have to think of the problems that you're not solving and then solve them as well, Yep. Gary Vee says put yourself out of business pretty much first.
Yeah.
You got to evolve, got to adapt, got to kick it.
That's all I got.
Yeah, I don't. It's too hot in here to continue right now, to be honest. My brain is starting to melt a little bit.
Literally fried.
Yeah.
All right, well, close us out.
Welcome, Mike. That's big content for this week. Thank you for hanging out. Join the Discord if you are new here. Subscribe to the channel, all that. Kind of feels like we haven't recorded in a month.
Well, because we did the weekend.
Oh, yeah. So it's actually been 2.5 weeks at this point. I missed you.
Fuck.
What?
It's flu game on steroids.
It's big hot in here.
Oh, boy.
I'm thinking about telling them not to fix the air conditioning. Just to build character.
Yeah, to
so we can look back on the good old days when we used to grind.
What's it called?
Grow up?
No, when you out the week.
Cut the fat, trim.
No. You flame out the week. You burn out the week. It's you test them and then you see who's still there. There's obviously.
Put your feet to the fire. I don't really surround myself with weak people, so I don't have to use that phrase often.
Yeah, I see that as you have no one in the office.
Anyone who's fucking weak is out. I'm the only strong person left.
Yeah, no one's here.
Holy fuck, I'm already sweating.
It's hot.
Dude, we got an episode today.
Do we?
Yeah. What do you mean?
I mean, who do we give more love to? Jack, 11:47 p.m., grinding, sending topics, or Nick, 6:43 a.m.
answering big F.
Big F in the morning.
I think equally devastating to the cause.
Exactly. And I think this kind of goes to your point. I get work done late. You can't. You're an up and atom guy. I'm just getting started at 12:41.
You ready? This is the cross section, the overlap, and when we can both get work done this time right now.
All right, perfect.